On the afternoon of June 24, 1955, Pan Am Flight 914, a routine flight from New York to Miami, took to the skies. The passengers were unaware that this flight would become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history, one that would leave experts, governments, and the world in utter disbelief. The flight was expected to take just a few hours, but when it vanished from radar, no one could have predicted the nightmare that would unfold. Hours passed, then days. The search for Flight 914 began, but the plane, its crew, and its passengers had simply disappeared, without a trace. Air traffic controllers tried in vain to reach the plane. The world watched in horror as news spread that Flight 914 had vanished. Theories began to swirl. Was it a crash? Had the plane gone down into the ocean? Was there any hope of finding survivors? Months passed. No wreckage, no debris, no answers. Flight 914 became one of the great unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Until 37 years later, December 1992, Miami International Airport. It was an ordinary day until something extraordinary happened. A plane, strange, old, and out of place, appeared on the runway. This wasn't just any plane. It was a Pan Am jet, a plane that had disappeared in 1955. The air traffic controllers were stunned. They checked the flight logs. It couldn't be. But there it was. As the passengers stepped off the plane, something was deeply wrong. They were dressed in 1950s clothing, their hair, their faces, frozen in time. But the world around them had moved on. The year was 1992. They hadn't aged a single day, and they had no memory of the 37 years that had passed. How could this be? How could a plane that disappeared in 1955 reappear in 1992? The passengers, unaware of the time gap, disembarked, expecting to find themselves in a world still in the 1950s. But instead, they were met with a reality that defied all logic. Government officials, scientists, and aviation experts were called in to investigate. But the more they tried to explain it, the more impossible it seemed. The plane had landed safely. No technical failures, no damage. The instruments were working perfectly. The passengers seemed normal. The crew, too, was baffled. They had no recollection of the years that had passed. They were as shocked as the passengers. Some wondered if this was some sort of elaborate prank, but there was no sign of a hoax. The records were checked, and the details were disturbingly clear. Flight 914 was missing for 37 years, only to return without explanation. What happened to Flight 914? Was it truly a case of time travel? Or was something far more sinister at play? Let's consider the possibilities. Some believe the entire story was a hoax. The Weekly World News, a notorious tabloid known for publishing outlandish stories, was the first to report on Flight 914's return. Was it just another of their fabricated tales? An invention designed to capture the public's imagination? No record of the flight can be found, and no credible aviation sources confirm its disappearance. It was just another sensational tale for the tabloids, designed to feed our hunger for mystery. But what if there's more to it? What if this story isn't a hoax, but a glimpse into something unexplainable? Could Flight 914 have traveled through time? Perhaps it was caught in some temporal rift, unknowingly shifting 37 years into the future? Time travel has been a subject of fascination for centuries. Could it be possible that the passengers were trapped in some kind of time loop, suspended in a moment for decades, only to land and find themselves in a completely different world? Another theory connects the disappearance to the Bermuda Triangle, an area notorious for swallowing ships and planes without a trace. Could Flight 914 have entered the triangle, where time and space behave unpredictably, and somehow returned decades later, untouched by time? Then there's the possibility of a government experiment. What if this was all part of a classified program? Perhaps Flight 914 was involved in some secret time manipulation or teleportation experiment. An operation designed to test the boundaries of science, but one that went terribly wrong. Finally, perhaps the answer lies in the power of myth itself. Flight 914 may simply be a story, a modern legend that captures the human imagination. A tale of mystery and suspense, told and retold, growing in magnitude with every telling. A story so intriguing, it blurs the line between fiction and reality. Whatever the truth may be, Flight 914 has left its mark on history. A mystery that lingers, a question that may never be answered. But for those who seek answers, one thing is clear. Sometimes the most chilling mysteries are the ones we'll never truly understand.